bringing you the best in country and Irish music. This is your station, irishcountrymusicradio.com.
You can go anywhere. When you walk in a room, people smile. From Moscow and LA to Galway Bay, you're my friend, and you're one of a kind.
There you have it. That is Larissa Tormey and A Breath of Fresh Air. And A Breath of Fresh Air is this lady, is Larissa Tormey. She's on the line, would you believe? And hello, Larissa. How are you tonight?
Hi, Seamus. I'm very, very good. Thank you. I'm delighted to be on your show. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem at all. No problem at all. I just love the idea of your whole background and everything, Larissa. Of course, we've met a number of times up there in the Welland Moat, and we've worked together a few different times and whatnot, and always got on great, of course. And now, just give us actually. By the way, congratulations! You won a big award recently, if I'm not mistaken. Would that be right?
Yes, I did. Very unexpected award in Holland I won. Amazing voice in country and Americano.
Wow.
I'm kind of laughing because I didn't know about the nomination. And the interesting thing about this award, it came a week before my new album release. So it was like, if you want to specially plan it, you'll do that. This sort of promotional stuff, but it happened naturally.
It's just pure coincidence, one of these happy coincidences that happen in life at times, that you're trying to promote your album and all of a sudden this big award from Holland. Yeah, would you mind? Holland, go on. So I'm just loving the whole cosmopolitan thing about this Russian lady living in Ireland, singing Irish country music, and she is gets an award in Holland for her efforts. I
had an award in Ireland too.
I know.
Irish were first, anyway.
Well, the Irish were the first to recognise, yourself. Well, we'd have good eyesight. We'd have good eyesight and good hearing as well, you see. So.
You know what, actually, before you continue, my husband, he's farmer, he always say to me, I would sell well on cattle market.
You'd make a good auctioneer.
No, I'm as the cow, I would sell. I'm very good. I'm good in all departments. I look well, I sing well, so I would sell well. I'm sorry, but that's what like farmers' judgment. Everything goes through the cattle,
I'd say he didn't get supper that night, did he?
No, he didn't.
But anyway, take us back, Larissa, to, as I say, you're living in Kilbeggan for 19 years, is that right? Kilbeggan in County Westmeath.
I do, yeah. I live on a farm in here in Kilbeggan and loving it. I love this small little town. Very, very nice, friendly people, nice kind of cozy sort of the town, everything here. Feel very comfortable in here, I must say. And it's very central for me as a musician. I'm kind of near everything, so it's very, very good too.
But you were born in Russia, which would be a little bit different to Kilbeggan now. If I was to guess now, there'd be a slight bit of a difference between Russia and, 21 years ago when you were born, and.
Thank you, Seamus.
but what part of Russia were you born in, Larissa?
So I was born in central Russia, Ural Mountains region. It's about 2,000 kilometers from Moscow, very central Russia anyway, and it's a small republic. So Russia is very multicultural, multinational, so there is lots of small nations living within Russia. So that's where I was, the small little republic of Bashkortostan, very hard to pronounce, but it's originally Muslim people, Asian Muslim people. They have their own language, their own little republic with government and all, but they all speak Russian as well. They don't really practice much religion, so that sort of kind of place. Over 100 years within Russia. So this is where I was. I was born and reared, and then my father originally from there and my mom was from Belarus. So we had a very multinational family as well, 3 languages. And then when I was doing music since 4 years old, like I always wanted to. As soon as I started to speak, I started to sing and ask for piano. And when I was 6, I went to music school. I finished it. Then I went to music college. At 15, and it was 4 years degree. I was qualified as a choir conductor, and then I went to university another 6 years and had a degree in classical singing and piano playing. So that was, but my aim was always to be a singer-songwriter. It just that time in Russia, in Soviet Union, in order to be a professional musician and be able to tour and be paid, you had to have degree. You had to have the education. Without it, you amateur, and you could sing as well, but not to be paid. No wages.
All right. Yes.
Yeah, so that's why I had to go and get this whole education. It didn't mean that I had to be a classical singer after that. It just was the necessity to be educated if you want to be on the road.
Yeah, God, that'd be a little bit different to the European or the American.
It's here. Yeah. I always say, and it actually was very interesting. It was very much divided. Amateur music and professional music was completely divided. So what it means that we had 2 different, like for example, every city had their concert hall and city hall. Okay.
Right.
So if I'm educated as a professional musician, I finished my degree, I was sent to that city hall wherever I want. I want it in my town, right, my capital of my republic. And I was assigned there as a professional singer, and I was paid wages. Also, I would pay separate money for each concert. And they would be already hired all the promoters, anybody I need, bands. So it was all one kind of body, professional body, where you paid. And you don't need to do anything, only sing, only practice your singing, and that's all. Wow. And then if you are not sure but you like music, then you are kind of, there is a town hall in the city, it's the same like you have here in our town halls. So in there you have lots of choirs, singing groups, wherever. Go and join them, but you're not paid, it's just your hobby.
Oh, right.
Right?
Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it?
Oh, very different. Yeah, very
different. So that's why I finished my education. Then I went on the road and I was touring as a pop singer, songwriter. I had my own show. I was writing my own music. I was writing my own songs for other musicians as well. And then I had, because I always felt that music career is not that stable. Like I had a little daughter and stuff. So I had a job as well as I had my own school for talented children, vocal school. So that was my second job. So it was tough, I must say. It was tough in there because country is so huge and huge competition. In order to get somewhere, you need to have huge money in Russia or you won't get anywhere at all. But I was kind of doing it though, could not do it. And then I become very popular in my republic, in my part of Russia. And in order to grow more, to be more popular, I moved. I made a decision and I moved to Moscow. I just left everything behind, took my daughter and moved to Moscow. And I spent a few years in Moscow. It was going well enough. It was tough by times, difficult. And then I had a very good friend of mine. He's still a very popular movie actor in Russia. So it was his birthday, and he invited me to sing at his birthday in an international hotel and restaurant. And we were sitting at the table, and I saw the few guys speaking English sitting in the table beside us.
Right.
So I didn't speak any English. I had a couple of phrases I knew. So I decided to go and invite them to our table and practice my 2 phrases in English. And one of these guys was like my husband, and he just ended up to very quiet, shy guy, ended up to sit beside me. And then me trying to make conversation with him all evening with no English. So then another 2 days we spent already. I was showing him Moscow, and we were communicating through dictionary. I had a dictionary with me. So that's how we met. I never heard about Republic of Ireland. I knew about North of Ireland, never knew about Republic. I'm ashamed of it, but I never did. Like, I didn't know. So that's how I find out what Ireland is. Then he went back home, and we started to talk on the phone. And in order to talk on the phone every 3 days, I had to learn English words. And I had to prepare, so I was kind of writing phrases, and every conversation was getting kind of better. I don't know, don't even ask me how did we understand one another at all.
And was he Russian any good? Like, did he
Nothing at all, no
Well, wasn't he an awful man to say
terrible,
that?
Isn't it?
Yeah,
all the job had to be done by me.
You had to do all the translating.
That's it.
The lazy old farmer lads, he wouldn't even
Yeah. No, it's called not lazy. It's called
I'm only joking.
Easy going.
Easy going. Yeah. He was cute enough though. These Westmead farmers to be
very cute.
Yeah.
That's it. So anyway, he went home then, and then he invited me to Ireland for a holiday, and I think I got there in 3 months after. I met the family. I met his dad. He was amazing. He was my best friend, and after, real gentleman. Very, very popular person here in Midlands. Everybody knew Robin Tormey. He was a lovely, beautiful guy.
Yeah.
He used to say to Christy, to my husband, if I would be 20 years younger, Christy, you would never marry Larissa. That's what he used to say. So anyway, and so they all liked me, and then Christy proposed, and 3 months after I moved to Ireland. That's what was finished. Boom! Suddenly ended up in rural Ireland, among the cattle.
But come here, the question I'm wondering is, because it's not like that Christy could be just happen to take a wrong turning at traffic lights and end up in the middle of Russia. Like, what brought him over there in the first place? You know what I mean?
They had a weekend start party with the guys. Few guys went to, one of them used to go to Russia a lot, so it's just pure accident. He was invited, and Christy got adventures once in his lifetime, and he got me. Now, Seamus, he has an adventure non-stop.
He's probably afraid to travel.
Realize he'll get himself into this all the show business thing. Well, I mean, it's all jokes, but very happy anyway. 19 years after, still very happy. Thank God, everything goes well. It's a good ending story anyway, hopefully.
Good ending, yeah. So Larissa Tormey then, a music teacher and a soprano. Is it soprano? Mezzo-soprano, is it?
Mezzo-soprano. It's the lowest female voice. I have I have a big range, but my best kind of sounding voice is very low notes. That calls mezzo-soprano.
Yeah.
It's like Seamus, Ave Maria. That's mezzo.
Oh, right. Yeah. So Larissa Tormey, music teacher and mezzo-soprano, moves over to the centre of Ireland from the centre of Russia. And how then, when you arrived over first, did you keep doing the opera, sort of mezzo-soprano music?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't for a number of reasons. First reason, I decided that I won't do music anymore. I give up my music career because I was so tired. I was burned out completely. And I said, no, that's it. I met a nice guy and I'm going to settle down, forget about all this going, and that was the first reason. Second reason, because I didn't have any English. I honestly didn't think it's possible for me to do anything musically here.
Right.
I didn't think it could happen at all. So I didn't. And then, it's kind of gradual because I'm a musician, I always did music. You can't really get it out of your system. It's very difficult. So I was started to work here in the family business helping, for a while. And then, Tullamore College in Tullamore, they invited me to be a choir conductor with kids, with the teenagers. And I said, my English is so bad. How am I going to do that? And I remember principal said to me, Larissa, they'll teach you. Teenagers will teach you. Don't worry. So I went on then and I worked for 3 years in there. Children loved me. We had a great time actually. They were texting me then for ages. Please come back. Please come back. And so I was teaching them, and I actually did tell them at the first lesson, I said, listen, I'm from Russia. It was kind of new that time. There was very few foreigners in Ireland. And I said, my English is not that great. If you teach me, I really appreciate. Correct me if I make mistakes, tell me. And kids were amazing. They were so good to me. So that what happened. And then gradually, because I started to sing with them and learn the songs, I said, why don't I do maybe classical music in churches for weddings and masses?
Right.
And that's where I started, because that was a simple thing for me to do, all the songs in Italian and Latin, like Ave Maria, Panis Angelicus, all the hymns. I started to do that bit by bit. I was doing well enough. And so kind of was getting more and more confident, that confidence, that's all I needed. Yeah. And then I came up with the idea to translate few of my songs. My daughter actually translated few of my Russian songs into English. And I said, because I didn't believe I can do professional singing here, I said, will I try to pitch them maybe to other singers, record them in English and pitch them. So this way I went to, in Dublin, I found a very good sound producer, Dave McCune, and I went to him to record few demos. We started to record in 2014, and while I was recording, it just bursted out of me. I started to write more songs in English, and then Dave said to me, listen, Larissa, he said, I think you're very good yourself. Why wouldn't you just release it as your own album?
Yeah.
So that's what happened then. In 2014, I released my first album. It was pop contemporary album, Perfect As I Am, all my own songs. I released it, and nobody knew me. Nobody knew who Larissa Tormey is, and I didn't know where to start. I didn't really want to go singing in the pubs because that wasn't my kind of thing. I used to sing on the stages only. Sitting down venues, theaters, this sort of.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel comfortable, and my music wasn't really suitable for that, whatever I was writing. So I made a conscious decision. I'm very good in computers, you see, I'm kind of very techie. And I said, that's all digital stuff only was starting up that time. Yeah. And I said, will I try to promote myself online and see if I get somewhere online, if I get good following, then it might actually happen then in real life. People will know me online and they'll start to listen to me in live music. And I went to music conference, European Music Conference, MEDEM, which used to be huge in Cannes in France. Yeah. And that conference in 2015 was all about digital music promotion. And I learned so much, got lots of contacts. I learned so much. I came back, I set up Facebook, I set up my own website, just started to push my music online and started to get good results. People started to listen to my music, buy my CDs. And in the middle of all of that, I realized that most of my followers were into country music.
Yeah.
So, you see, it was kind of middle-aged, mostly people who would listen like contemporary pop, like like Celine Dion, like this sort of big songs.
Yeah.
So most of them were actually listening to country as well. I didn't realize that country music is so big in Ireland at that stage, because I never was listening to it. I didn't know anything about it at all. Am I talking too much?
Oh God, no, keep going. Keep going. I'm fascinated here, so keep going.
Well, it's actually a great story. Yeah, sometimes when I'm old, I might read a book, write a book maybe. So anyway, and then one of my followers was the guy from Belfast, songwriter, BG Pollock, nice guy, very talented songwriter, right? And he sent me a message on Facebook. He said, Larissa, I have a nice song in here, Only a Woman, and it's country song. Would you do the demo maybe for me? Try to sing it. Yeah. I said to him, I don't sing country. I can't make demo for you. He said, Larissa should try. We'll see what will happen. Right.
Yeah.
So I actually opened up the song. I started to make piano cover of it at home. And I started to put this on piano, I started to put chords in, I started to sing, and I said, my God, this is a lovely song. It has a great story, great melody. It's actually really suit me. And then, remember, Christy came home. I said, listen to it. I have a new song here. What do you think? So I sang for him, and he said, I think it's the best song you ever sang.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So I made a demo, sent it to BJ. BJ sent it to a few radios as a demo. And they put it on the air straight away, right?
Right, yeah.
And I said, So I recorded it then with that guy in Dublin. I said, listen, I have this song, let's record it. We recorded it, we released it as a single, and that single went as the 100 most downloaded songs on iTunes in first week of release.
Wow, yeah.
So I kind of watched the signs always. So I kind of said, interesting. If it goes that well, maybe I should try this kind of branch. So that's how it all started, long story short. And then I continued this contemporary country, and I've done second album. It's the same with Dave McCune. We finished where I wrote myself a few songs, and then BG Pollock's, and I think I only had one cover on it, Country Girl.
Yeah.
So. It was kind of original album, but country, my first country album in 2016. I released it, and that gave me very big exposure. I got an award that time from Sandy World. I was nominated. Remember, you went to that English newspaper, came out of
Irish Post.
Irish Post nominated me. So from that album, it all started to roll on then. A country was really well established for me, and I got digging into it, started to listen to other singers, learn what is it. Like, you see, it was very difficult for me. Everything was difficult the way that it wasn't my culture. I wasn't growing up in it. I didn't know any of this music when I was younger. Yeah. You see, it's easier for native, for Irish, because you were growing up with these songs. You know them all, culture, But I never heard them. Even Christmas songs, I have to learn from the scratch. Jingle bells, I never heard it. You see,
you didn't actually have Christmas songs in Russia, no.
No, we do have Russian Christmas songs, but our Christmas is very religious. It's before the New Year. So it's not commercial, it's completely different. So everything I had to learn everything from the zero in here.
Yeah.
But it was fascinating because I like learning. It was all kind of, busy process to learn language, to learn to be driving, to learn to cook Irish food, to learn to what Irish people are like, to learn country music, everything. So I enjoyed every minute of it.
Wow. No, just fascinated even. So I suppose, it's a whole different culture, but the fact of of not having any, the Jingle Bells and I presume Silent Night or the Russian version of it would be there, but Jingle Bells are, all those sort of songs, the quintessential Christmas songs that you wouldn't actually have heard of them. Like, you just think that it just crosses all cultures. The
exactly.
Like that,
no, you see, because Russia was closed for many years, it's only opened before I moved here. Now it's the people probably know melodies, at least they heard it. But when I was growing up in Soviet Union, we only had our own music culture. I didn't really know any of that at all.
Yeah, and as you go ahead, sorry.
So that was kind of difficult, but I loved it. I know a lot now. And keep learning.
Your English has definitely improved anyway. From having to get out a dictionary to carry out a conversation.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, my English is it's interesting with my English. I learned it like a child would learn. You see, by listening, by talking. I didn't allow myself to watch any Russian television for 5 years when I came here. I read only in English. So I actually think in English now. I still have my accent, but it's very natural language for me. I switch naturally from one to another, and I get the jokes. It's not like, foreign language where I kind of don't get it. I do get most things. It's like my natural language.
Well, when you're mixing with the farming community up around the Midlands of Ireland,
that's for sure.
You're definitely going to have to learn a little bit of, and you'd have to learn how to take jokes and the like of that, you see.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but I remember I went to second time to Medium Conference in France, and there was lots of British music business people, and they all was laughing their heads off. They saying, we never heard this before in whole life, somebody speaking in English with Russian accent plus Irish country accent. Because the phrases I use, they don't English, you see, British people.
Yeah, there is. I hear some of the phrases that you're using there, and I have a little bit of a titter to myself saying, God, she learned that from Ireland anyway, because you definitely didn't learn that in an English course,
It's kind of funny mix, but I don't mind. It makes me different though, isn't it?
Oh, it definitely makes it different, yeah. Now, when you were in Russia then, were you based in you moved to Moscow, you were saying, but would you traveled around much with the music, I
did, yes. I did, but the way it was organized very different than here. Here people kind of on the go, on the road, non-stop. I find that it's very difficult. What we were doing in Russia, we were touring twice a year. For example, for a month. So I had two large tours where I was touring all over the country for a month, okay? Right. So I could arrange, for example, for my mom to come up and look after my daughter. It wouldn't be that bad. And then, in the meantime, in between these big tours, I had the music school, and I also, I was singing in the nightclubs, but it's like a show like the big, concert halls like Moulin Rouge in Paris. It's very in Moscow. It's all very advanced, huge stages, beautiful places. So I had my own show where I was singing half of my songs in Muslim language, my father's language. It is Tatar language. It's like Turkish. Yes. Very Muslim. And so it was kind of a half exotic show. So I had my own show. I had that. I was doing that once a week. That paid very well. Weekend. And then during the week I worked with my children music school, and I toured twice a year. So it was kind of all very manageable and allowed me to have money wherever I do. I wasn't dependent on one thing only.
Yeah. And we'd have the different viewpoint of Russia, say, in the West. Would money have been good on the music scene, or were you allowed to earn much, or whatever?
Very good. It was, you see, in Russia, music is a very highly rated job.
Yeah.
It's like, you educated, as I already told, it means that it's not just random people who can play a little bit and sing a little bit. It's very highly educated people who are normally touring. So you have a range. Like, for example, that was the kind of low time I was in Moscow, right? And I wasn't the most famous singer. I was, I'd say, middle range kind of, all right?
Yeah.
So I would earn probably about $300 that time, $300 for 30 minutes singing, easy.
Oh, right, yeah.
So musicians, if you had a job, you paid well in Russia, not bad.
But, yeah.
So I wouldn't leave the country for financial reasons, put it that way. I wouldn't move to Ireland because I was badly off, you know.
Yeah.
That's the thing with me. I didn't really move here for improving my financial side of my life. Even I had it hard because I was single. It was very hard for me to work and earn everything myself. I moved here for love. You know, and it's paying me off. It was good reason to move here, I must say.
Yeah. Oh, very good reason. And of course I've seen you you've had your videos and you've had a few different television appearances as well. And, you seem to be very settled in the whole farming, scenario now. You know what I mean? That you seem to be well able to go out and feed cattle and the like of that, Well,
I'm very much involved, Seamus. I mean, I have to because, I don't really do any physical work much because I can't really with my piano fingers. I can't.
Yeah, that's a good reason. I'll have to remember that one myself.
First of all, and secondly, it's kind of not really, wasn't expected enough in my husband's family. The girls never was really involved in any physical. The boys were. But I do all the financial, the papers, and then, all this, I don't know, are you involved in the farming? It's very strict here with the medications.
Very much so.
We have inspection, Borby expansion once a year. I look after all that. So I am very much involved in all the management of farm and the shop we have. So, yeah. And that's why, you see, when I started to sing in a country style and start to research it more, and then I said, oh my God, it's actually really suit me because, I mean, a part of that, I love country music. I started to fall in love with it, with all these stories, the telling, all the sensitivity, emotional part of it, lovely melodies, and then I'm a country girl. I live on the farm. I am like part of farming community. So I think it's perfect, just perfect for me.
Yeah, and where would you have been out in the country very much, say in Russia now, would have been a country rural background that you were in over there?
Yes, I have a rural background.
So you moved from a rural background there to a rural, to a rural area
my parents were professional foresters. So I grew up actually in the middle of the forest, pine forest. Until 11 years old, I lived in the forest, and my mom had a cow, and so it was a country life. I lived in the middle of country in Russia, and then we moved into bigger town, and then I ended up. But I went to do my education from 15 years old on. I was in the cities, all right. But I always had this country in me, all right, country background.
Yeah, you said your mother had a cow. She
had a cow, and she used to have one calf once a year, feed him, and then sell him on the mart once a year, and get herself a set of gold jewelries as a present.
she got I'm loving this.
She was mad about country. She used to love all the gardening, all this growing vegetables. So yeah, my mom was real country girl, more than me, I suppose she was even.
Yeah, and is your mother still with us, or has she ever travelled over, or anyone belonging to you?
No, it was very dramatic, Seamus. My mom passed away 9 years ago. She was very young. She got diagnosed with last stage of cancer, and she just went, and we didn't get a chance to bring her here for a visit. She was a poet. She was very artistic. She was a well-known poet. She had few books published, and she always encouraged me to do what I do. And like, you know, lots of parents would say, stay beside us, don't go anywhere, Larissa, we want you near. Like, it would be nicer for her to have me near her, but she always said, no, you move on, whatever, you move on where the life is better and where you can actually do your music. She always encouraged me.
And have any of your family actually travelled over to Ireland to see how well you're getting on over here, or?
Yeah, I have two brothers, they both were here, yeah. Visiting. One of them is living abroad for many years now, another one's still in Russia, so yeah, I had them.
And what do they think of Ireland? And what do they think of your country music career over here?
Well, my youngest, who is the computer genius, he's in America, he said, when he saw me on television in here and I sent him video, he said, God Almighty, even if you'd even lock you on the farm, he said, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, you still popping out somewhere on television screen, he said.
God Almighty. I love that little Irish phrase. God Almighty. Say it in a Russian accent, you know.
Sorry.
So,
well, you have to put up with the accent. I can't get rid of it.
Oh God, no, I don't mind. No, never lose your accent. Never lose your accent. And of course, you're in the latest version, or the latest issue, I should say, of RSVP magazine, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
That's another coincidence,
Yeah.
Seamus. That's exactly, again, coincidence 1 week or 3 days before my album.
Right.
It's the same thing, like no PR done. People asking me, how did you get there? How did you? So I got a message on Facebook from them a week before the album release. Larissa, we want to do an interview with and girl around me. I said, do you actually know that I'm releasing the album? No, as she said. I said, it's a great timing, actually. I said,
timing, yeah.
Perfect. So, yeah, I'm delighted with that. And kind of a little bit funny it is, Seamus, because I didn't think about myself as a celebrity ever.
For any listeners listening in from across the water or from outside of Ireland, RSVP magazine, it is a celebrity magazine where they interview celebrities in the country. Something similar to VIP magazine over in the UK, and you have all your the celebrities are interviewed in the home or whatever, and they have photos. There's a whole photo shoot. There's a whole stuff like that. And Larissa is one of the featured artists in the latest issue of RSVP magazine. So there, well
This is
done.
hilarious, isn't it, Seamus?
And you're talking about your new album there. So tell us a little bit about that, Larissa, or what way. Because
anyway, I just move on. So we finished on my first country album, which brought me all this recognition, right?
Yes.
And then I moved on very fast after that because I wanted to do the cover album full of covers, because I wanted to show people that I'm not only singing strange original songs, I actually can do what Irish people singing here on the dance music scene. So that kind of moved very fast, and I find another producer in the middle of all that. The guy from England, Pete Wire, we are
very
great
good,
friends. We're great friends now, like very, very good friends. He used to produce Charlie Lansborough albums, so I was so lucky to meet him. And we started to record with him, and we done this cover album, and I called it Cowgirls Don't Cry, kind of quick after the first one, just to follow up.
Right.
And that's all. And then I kind of said, okay, I have 3 albums. Will I just slow down a little bit? So what I said after that, I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to do, well, financially it's difficult anyway. So I said I'd do it very slow. I will do song by song, and every song I will record now, from now on, will have deep meaning for me, for my life.
Right.
I wouldn't record any song anymore just for the sake of recording. It will be something very special. And that's what I was doing for 3 years. I was recording songs one by one and releasing them as a singles and doing the videos and kind of was advertising them myself. And that brought me a lot of connections and stories. I had a great time, and some of them are original songwriters I met on the way, some of them my own, some of them good covers, but I changed them. I tend to change, if I'm covering somebody's song, I tend to change it. I don't want to do exact copy. I want to do it my way.
Make it your own.
So, yeah, and so you see, I kind of, and then the live singing started to pick up, and I was like everybody else. I just suddenly got so busy, so worn out with everything, and I was thinking how I'm going to finish this and do this album I'm kind of planning to do. I have no time for anything. And then suddenly, boom, lockdown.
Lockdown, yep.
God sent me a message, Larissa, now you have all your time you wanted.
There you are now.
Now you're sitting on your boom and you can have all your time, record whatever you want.
Every cloud has a silver lining.
Well, for me anyway, I'm very famous for my positivity, which was So that all kind of that was February, and I had a few very hard issues in the family in here. My husband got problems with health, and then myself was diagnosed with something. I had to go like for nearly 2 months tests and stuff. Then I had a beautiful cat. I was mad about him for 15 years. He got sick. He was very sick. I had to look after him. Then he passed away. Then my dad died in Russia. I couldn't go there.
To hear that, yeah.
So it all happened in kind of a short period of time, in 6 months, while I was recording finishing my new album.
Yeah, yeah.
So I decided to do 2 projects anyway. To finish this, my country album I was kind of doing already. And I pulled out all the songs I was writing on my own pop songs. I had them in a drawer at home. I pulled them out and I started to record them as a side project. And I recorded a song, COVID song, If God Will Let Me Live Another Day. Mm-hmm. I released it as a single. It went really, really big. That's a song about, if people want to go on YouTube channel and just type in there, Live Another Day, Larissa Tormey, they'll see it and they'll hear what I mean by that song. If God will let me live another day, how much I will do, how much I will enjoy a little things in life.
Yeah.
So 2 projects I was doing in parallel, and the country album was finished apart of the title song. So I didn't have the name of the album. I was kind of thinking, what should I call it? I want to have a nice name for that. And then I suddenly remember, Seamus, that any time I have an interview in Ireland, nearly every time, right?
Yeah.
Nearly every interviewer called me breath of fresh air.
Well, to be right, yeah.
Everybody, and I said, I remember that. It would be nice to have a song, breath of fresh air, but it's kind of not really nice to write it about myself, kind of a bit, not really nice thing to do. So I called Michael Cummins.
Oh, well, you called a good one there anyway. Yeah.
Because his song on my album, The Wind and the Hill, and one of the most popular songs of mine from these singles. So I called him. I said, Michael, I have a mad idea. You can tell Larissa, listen, just go home. Don't ask me stuff like that. But I said, maybe you will write the song, The Breath of Fresh Air. You called me Breath of Fresh Air, I said, sometimes when you were doing an interview with me. That was your phrase. He said, well, I won't promise I'll try.
Yeah.
And he wrote the lyrics, beautiful lyrics, and sent it to me. And from then, Seamus, it took me 4 months to write this song. I never, ever in my whole life it never took me so long to write one song. Because it wasn't right at all. I wrote 6 different versions of it.
Yeah.
Then his friend tried it, Eddie Lee, melody. Then Emma Fox got on board because I was interviewing her, and she changed the lyrics. And so it was going on for so long. And then I wanted to have a duet, and no one wanted to sing duet with me.
Oh, no.
Nobody wanted to sing duet. They were all afraid of Russian Girl altogether.
You'd wonder at that, like, I mean, that there would be...
I don't know what, I was honestly sitting here thinking, what's wrong with me? Nobody even wants to sing with me.
Yeah.
Russian girl wants to do it, she can't get it. And so I just, after the, one more refusal, I was so upset. I was saying, sitting here, I said, okay, I'm going to record it on my own and just finish this album, because another way it would never finish.
Yeah.
Okay, and then suddenly one of the guys who sending my music to radios from Scotland, beautiful actually, service, and he's lovely guy, Stuart Cameron.
Right.
He emailed me and said, "What's up, Larissa?" I said, "I'm sitting here kind of don't know what to do with myself, trying to find somebody to record duet." And he said, "I know who it could be." I said, "Who?" And he said, "Dave Sheriff. He's very good for you." He said, "You will have a beautiful duet together."
Yeah.
So I sent email to Dave, and he just, in 5 minutes, he answered, "Okay, I'm on."
And then...
So that...
Go ahead, sorry, yeah.
So then what happened after? I phoned Pete War in England, because Dave is in England as well. I said, "Pete, I need you to somehow to get connected to Dave and record him, because I'm going to record at home. I do it at home. I have my mic in here, and you record Dave in there, and then we have to put it all together somehow." And he said, "Well, he could be 1,000 kilometers from me." He said, "Larissa, I don't know where is he." I said, "I'll get you his phone number. So try to organize it." And he said, "Okay." He hung up. He called me 15 minutes after, and he said, "Larissa, if you're standing, please sit down," he said. I said, "Why?" He said, "I just was on the phone with Dave Sheriff." You know what? I said, "What?" "He's living 600 meters away from me." I can see his house from my window," he said. And he said to me, "Isn't that the good omen, isn't it? There's something very unusual about all of this."
And
so,
go ahead.
He started to record Dave, and I wanted this song to be old-fashioned waltz, but I wanted it to be a bit like, you know, the French chanson style, with a bit of accordion in there. Yeah. And I was thinking, who would be the better accordion player than Brandon McPhee from Scotland? I love his playing.
Very talented man.
Yeah, and he's such a nice guy too.
Very nice guy, yeah.
So that's it. I got in touch with him, never had any problem with Brandon. He recorded, and we all enjoyed it so much, two of us. It just was absolutely beautiful, amazing experience, collaborate like that from 3 different countries and recording music at home, sending videos to one another. Then Pete War put the video together, lockdown video, and that's it. My album was finished, finalized.
Well, I tell you, you have some great stories. I have to say that much for you. You have
isn't it?
Oh, it's just, and all coincidences as well, like, you know. So, But I'm just conscious of the time here, Larissa. So I have a few people that have sent in messages to say hello to you. And,
please, read it.
And Margaret Cleary says hello.
Oh, hi, Margaret. Lovely to hear from you.
And Lev and Gloria Jackman, they're over there in New Brunswick, over there in Canada. They're listening in as well.
Oh, Canada. Yeah. Hi. There are a few people, very nice people following me from Canada.
Oh, yeah. Well, nice. Lev and Gloria are lovely people anyway. And
hi, Lev and Gloria.
Yeah. And then Michelle Orr is over there and she's in Bedford in England, and she's listening in, and she said to say hello.
Michelle.
Yeah. Michelle. And Ron Hinsley is over there in Wolverhampton in England as well, and he said to say hello to you. So
guys, that's so nice. If you want to learn a little bit more, I mean, I talked so much, you probably know everything at this stage anyway, but www.larissatormey.com, my website, or on YouTube you can see all my videos. I have so many videos. Just go on and have a look at it.
Have a look at the videos, yeah.
Yeah.
And Maureen Burke in Leitrim, she'll be up there kind of around the Midlands as well. She's listening in and she said to say hello to you.
Morning, how are you?
And
lovely to hear from you.
Then down there in the sunny southeast of Ireland, there's a gentleman called Tommy Hyo. Now, when you were talking about farming and all that, like, Tommy is a farmer himself, and so I'd say he knew all about what you were saying there about all the different agriculture, the Department of Agriculture stuff. Yeah,
Tommy, are you buying cattle on the iPad now, on the computer, as everybody else? Are you?
I'm sure he is now. He's a sort of he's a bit, I'm not sure whether he's a tech wizard or not now, but...
Well, you have to be. You have to be tech wizard now. No choice.
Yeah. And of course, Marie, his wife, and his daughter, Laura, and of course, her other half, Mick, is listening in, and Caitlin as well is listening in. So all the... yeah, they're
it's
all
lovely. So many people listening to us, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's brilliant. But it's great to have had you on, Larissa. As I say, I'm just conscious of the fact that time is getting scarce here, and I'm trying to fit in a song of your own just after this. And as well as that, I have Joe Harrington is going to be following me up. Joe, of course, a fabulous show he does all the way from the county of Kerry, and he's coming up very, very soon, around about 9 o'clock. So, but I'm going to have to let you go, Larissa, but it's been absolutely fabulous.
Do not let me go.
Oh, well, you see, I could have an old jealous farmer there from County Westmeath if I stay talking to you too long.
Okay, Seamus, it was great. I really enjoyed it.
And I'm looking forward to meeting up with you, hopefully when the whole everything comes back to normal again, because we always have great chats when we meet up there in the Well in Moat and other places as well. And of course, it was a great thanks a million there a couple of years ago when you were in line for an award down below with the Irish Post and down below in Tralee or Killarney, I should say. And you you managed to get me in there on the VIP section.
I wanted you to represent me, yes, Seamus.
And I would have been very, well, I was delighted to represent you. And unfortunately, I didn't get to go up on stage and thank everyone for the award, because it would have been very much deserved, and fair play to you. And congratulations on all the awards that you have won, and hopefully many more to come. Many more to come, Larissa, and keep up the great work.
Thank you so much, Seamus.
No problem at all, no problem at all. And as I say, Larissa Tormey, a lady from Russia, a mezzo-soprano from Russia that met up with an Irish farmer a number of years ago, came over and she decided she was going to be an Irish country singer, and isn't she doing very, very well at it? Congratulations, Larissa.
Thank you, Seamus, so much.
Thank you very much. And thank you. And it's great to have you on, and much continued success. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's Larissa Tormey.
Hello to all the listeners.
Yeah, thank you very much. And happy Christmas and everything else as well. And this is one of Larissa's Thank God I'm a Country Girl. Thank you, Larissa.
Bye.
Life in the farm is kinda laid back, and nothing old country girl she can't hack. Early to rise and early in the sack. Thank God I'm a country girl. Got stars in my eyes and moved to the city, and Moscow was cold but exciting and pretty.
Bringing you the best in country and Irish music. This is your station, irishcountrymusicradio.com.